Welcome to Tech Talk Central. We're kicking off a deep dive into, well, what might be the ultimate travel essential premium wireless headphones, specifically for those brutal marathon long-haul flights.
Yeah, today we're pitting two absolute heavyweights against each other. You've got the Sony WH-1000XM6, the tech powerhouse for noise cancellation.
Right.
And then the Edifier Stack Spirit S5, which is more of a, let's say, luxury audio specialist.
Our mission today is pretty simple. We know you, the listener, are probably looking for that perfect blend, that sweet spot between comfort and just silence.
Exactly.
So we're going to cut through the marketing jargon and,
Yeah.
distill exactly which one of these might deliver the piece you actually need for your next really long journey.
Okay, let's unpack this. And where else to start? But the biggest hurdle on any flight, that engine noise.
Oh, yeah. That constant drone.
Right. When you're stuck next to a roaring jet engine for like 10 hours, noise cancellation isn't just night, it's your shield. And Sony, with the WH-1000XM6, they throw everything at this. They're openly claiming the best noise cancellation.
Okay, bold claim. How are they backing that up? What's actually different this time? I keep hearing about this QN3 chip being a game changer.
Exactly. So the XM6 is powered by their HD NC processor QN3. Now, we don't need to get too bogged down in processor names, but basically think of it like this. Reports say this chip is like 7 times faster than the one before it, the QN1 and the XM5.
7 times faster.
Wow. Yeah, and that speed means it can analyze that complex, always changing drone of the engine, the cabin noise, and just react instantly. It adjusts its noise cancellation profile in real time.
Okay, so that reaction time, that's significant. Especially with how noise fluctuates on a plane.
Yeah.
Means more consistent quiet, I guess.
It really does. And it uses, get this, 12 specialized microphones to do all that work.
12 mics?
12. But the feature that's really, really tailored for flying is the adaptive NC optimizer. It doesn't just block noise. It actually adjusts for 2 physical things critical in the air. Air pressure changes.
Ah, right. That can affect the seal.
Exactly. And even small changes in how you're wearing them, like if you put on glasses or a hat maybe. It tries to maintain that perfect seal of silence no matter what's happening in the cabin.
That adaptive pressure feature sounds fantastic, actually.
Yeah.
For comfort, too. And, crucially, Sony includes an auto ambient sound mode, right? Which lets you sort of balance your music with outside sounds. Super useful for hearing, that vital gate change announcement without ripping your headphones off.
Definitely. But let's bring in the challenger now, because this is where it gets interesting, maybe a bit more nuanced. The Edifier Stack's Spirit S5 approaches silence. Well, differently. It relies more on physics, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. The S5 uses a closed-back design. That inherently gives you really good passive isolation, just physically blocking the sound.
Right.
And that's important for some audiophiles, who feel that really aggressive active noise cancellation, the ANC circuitry, can sometimes subtly mess with the original sound.
Okay, so Edifier's betting on just physically blocking most of the sound first, using materials and design to create that private listening space.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a clear distinction then. So if the Edifier isn't quite as focused on that wide spectrum ANC for the listener, what are all its microphones for?
Well, they're focused almost entirely on communication, on your voice. The S5 features dual mic CVC technology.
CVC, clear voice capture.
That's the one. It's basically specialized software that actively suppresses the noise around you, but only when you're speaking. The goal is crystal clear call quality, making sure your voice cuts through, say, a busy airport terminal after you land.
Okay, so that's a fundamentally different set of priorities. Sony's dominating the active silence for listening. Edifier's focusing mics on clear speaking.
Right.
Okay, so we've established Sony might win on pure silence, but silence is pretty useless if the battery dies halfway across the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk endurance, the long-haul test, because this is where the numbers get, well, staggering.
Staggering is definitely the word. What are we talking about with the Edifier?
The Edifier Stack Spirit S5 offers a monumental 80 hours of continuous music playback on one charge.
Wait, 80. 80.
80 hours, yeah.
That completely changes things. You could fly like London to Singapore, back again, and maybe pop over to New York without even thinking about the charger. That's industry leading. It becomes the defining feature for really long multi-leg trips.
It really does. And the quick charge is just as crazy. 10 minutes plugged in gets you 11 hours of playback.
10 for 11? Wow.
Yeah. That kind of battery life, it just removes all the travel anxiety about power.
Okay, so for comparison, the Sony WH-1000 XM6 provides up to 30 hours in battery life, which, look, is still really good, enough for most long hauls, definitely.
For sure, 30 hours is solid.
But that 50-hour gap,
Hmm.
it's a massive factor if you're constantly traveling or just forgetful like me. Sony's quick charge is efficient too, though 3 minutes gets you 3 hours. It's still decent.
True. But if you're going to wear headphones for potentially 80 hours, you need 80 hours of comfort. And comfort is the second area where Edifier takes this approach that just feels, well, luxurious.
Absolutely. The S5 emphasizes physical comfort, ergonomic design, sure, but the real headline here is the material choice. Genuine lambskin ear pads.
Lambskin. That's not something you see every day on headphones. That sounds incredibly soft.
Yeah, it's a serious luxury touch. It's known for being really breathable, very soft, and it's designed to minimize pressure and, importantly, heat buildup over those really long listening sessions. It really feels like Edifier is aiming for that, first-class cabin experience.
They're prioritizing the feeling of wearing them as much as the sound.
Seems like it. Meanwhile, the Sony XM6, it's built for maximum utility consistency. You get smooth synthetic leather, which is also comfortable on a wider asymmetrical headband.
Okay.
It's designed specifically for a pressure-free, all-day kind of fit. Plus, it has that seamless swivel and a stepless slider for easy adjustment.
And thankfully, both are built for travel, right? They fold up.
Yep. Both feature a foldable design and come with a dedicated carry case. Sony's even has a nice magnetic closure, apparently.
Okay, so comfort is subjective, but Edifier leans luxury. Sony leans functional comfort. Now, for the fun part, maybe, what does the music actually sound like? Because this raises another important point. These two headphones use radically different tech to actually make the sound.
Yeah, completely different engines. The Edifier Systex Spirit S5 is designed pretty explicitly for the dedicated listener, the audiophile, quote-unquote. It uses upgraded planar magnetic drivers.
Planar magnetic, okay, for listeners who aren't, deep into audio engineering,
Yeah.
Can you give us a quick analogy? What makes that different from a normal headphone speaker?
Sure. Think of a traditional speaker, a dynamic driver, like a little piston or a drum skin, pushing sound out from one central point.
Right.
A planar magnetic driver. It's more like a really thin, flat sheet that vibrates perfectly, uniformly, across its entire surface. So you get this incredibly even driving force over the whole diaphragm. The benefit: much lower distortion, theoretically, and a faster, more accurate response. That's why audiophiles often crave that kind of detail and precision.
That planar magnetic driver definitely sounds like a huge differentiator then. So how does Sony counter that?
The Sony XM6 uses a specially designed dynamic driver, but they've put a lot of work into it. It features a lightweight carbon fiber dome, and importantly, they say it was co-created with mastering audio engineers.
So trying to get the best possible performance out of that traditional design, aiming for studio-level precision, as they put it.
Exactly. Optimizing a dynamic driver to be as accurate as possible for, a wider audience.
Okay, makes sense. What about getting the sound to the headphones? Digital transmission, high-res audio is a big deal now.
Crucial, yeah, especially if you stream lossless files or have high-quality downloads. Good news is both support high-resolution audio wirelessly. They both use LDAC.
And maybe we should quickly clarify LDC. That's Sony's own tech, right? Allows Bluetooth to transmit way more data than standard Bluetooth.
Yep, about 3 times more data. Gives you much higher fidelity wirelessly, but your phone or player also needs to support LDSC, of course.
Right, device compatibility matters.
But the Edifier S5, it pushes the envelope even further here. It's built on the Snapdragon sound platform.
Ah, Qualcomm's tech.
Yeah, which means it also supports LHDC. That's another high-definition audio codec. Plus, it boasts aptX Adaptive and even aptX Lossless, claiming CD lossless audio capability wirelessly.
Okay, so for the real audio purist, having all those high-res codec options on the Edifier using Bluetooth 5.4, it would be a significant technical win.
It could be, yeah, more flexibility. Now, for just general travel connectivity, both are pretty robust.
What about connecting to multiple devices, like a laptop and a phone?
The S5 supports simultaneous connection to 2 Bluetooth devices, which is great, yeah, for switching seamlessly. The XM6 uses Bluetooth 5.3.
Slightly older version, but probably fine.
Probably negligible difference in practice. But importantly, the XM6 includes a 3.5mm headphone jack and supports audio via its USB-C cable, too.
Ah, and that physical connection, the 3.5mm jack, That's still vital for plugging into those older in-flight entertainment systems that don't have Bluetooth.
Absolutely crucial for many travelers. Can't
Right.
rely on Bluetooth everywhere yet.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, the traveler, trying to choose? It really seems to boil down to your number one non-negotiable priority for these long flights.
I think that's fair. How would you summarize it?
Okay, I think
Wow.
if ultimate active noise cancellation, like truly neutralizing that engine drone, dealing with background chatter, and smartly adjusting for air pressure.
Yeah.
If that is the absolute key to your sanity on a flight.
Then the Sony WH-1000XM6, with that powerful QN3 processor and its army of 12 mics, that's probably the tailored solution. It really is the definitive NC Shield.
Yeah, the NC Shield, I like that.
On the other hand, if battery endurance, I mean, that unbelievable 80 hours paired with that specialized planar magnetic audio fidelity.
And that genuine lambskin luxury comfort.
Right. If those are your primary goals, then the Edifier Stack Spirit S5 seems like the clear winner. It's the endurance machine for the audio purist who maybe prefers passive isolation anyway.
So Sony is the advanced NC Shield. Edifier is the luxury endurance machine.
Nicely put.
Yeah.
And maybe. Here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on. We focused heavily on listening, right? But consider the speaking part. Both use pretty sophisticated tech for calls. Sony's got a 6-mic AI system. Edifier has that specialized Qualcomm CVC tech we talked about.
Right, the voice clarity focus.
Exactly. So when you finally land, bleary-eyed, and need to make that crucial check-in call or coordinate a pickup while navigating a loud, chaotic terminal, both of these premium sets are actually designed to make sure your voice cuts through that noise. It's not just about silence anymore.
That's a really good point. Call quality is often overlooked, but so important right after a long flight. Well, that was our deep dive into the pretty massive differences between these two flagship headphones, breaking down exactly which one might deserve a seat in your carry-on.
Yeah, we really hope this breakdown gives you the insights, the knowledge you need to make the perfect choice for your specific travel style and priorities.
And hey, if you want to find the latest prices and deals on either of these, be sure to check out the links we've put in the description below.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please do hit that subscribe button for Tech Talk Central. We really appreciate the support.
We'll catch you on the next one.